What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Jenks Neighbor podcast. It is week 3, which means we get a preview.
It is here.
Yeah, which means we get a preview of the NFC Championship game. Packers Saints are playing each other at 1:00. No, just kidding. The Saints probably won't make it that
Slide
far.
in here, or we're making it further than you.
Yeah, but it's a big week for me and Jenks. Packer fan, Saints fan. We're going at it, and we're excited to break that down with you guys. So today we're going to be breaking down our week 3 picks. Then we're going to be talking a little Packers Saints, breaking down that game. And then we're going to do a little fantasy recap of our league and how everything's going. So let's get right into it.
Let's do it. I'm excited.
Welcome to the Jenks and the Hammer podcast. Bringing you the latest NFL news and insights from the perspectives of two die-hard fans. So sit back, relax, and get ready for some football talk with Jenks and the Hammer.
Here we go.
All right, guys, jumping right into our week 3 picks for the NFL season. Hammer's still in second place in our pick'em group. I'm in first with a record of 21-11. Hammer's at 19-13. He's catching up a little bit. Still only 2 games behind. I like my picks. I'm feeling solid. Hammer's not doing too bad himself. Like, both of our picks are doing pretty well. 6 games above 500 for Hammer, 10 for me. So feeling solid about it. Jumping right into the Thursday night football game, we got the Giants 49ers, which I think it's going to be a slaughter. You know, you watch the Cowboys come out in prime time, Sunday night football. Everyone was excited. Thought it was going to be a close game. You know, I think we both said it was possibly going to be a close game that week, and then they laid a goose egg, 40-0. So I think the Giants are probably going to do the same thing. Saquon's out. I got the 49ers in a pretty big blowout here.
Yeah, this is going to be disgusting. I think Giants fans are going to turn the TV off at halftime. The Giants do not look good. I get they came back and they won last week. Dude, that's against Arizona. They're tanking for Caleb. They've traded half the team away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And week 1 speaks for itself. Niners are the best team in football, and Giants are missing their best player too. It's going to be a blowout, and it's going to get ugly quick. San Fran in a big one.
Their defense is going to get, I think, a couple picks as well on Daniel Jones. So getting right into the next game, it's going to be Titans versus the Browns, and this is another game where Nick Chubb just got injured. You know, you're not really sure what the Browns are going to do. Ford may come alive as their second running back. He looked pretty solid against the Steelers' good defense, but the Titans have one of the best run defenses in the league. They showed it against the Saints, and they showed it last week against Los Angeles, the Chargers. So I think the Titans here, I think it's an intriguing pick. I'm going to go Titans after what I saw them do against the Saints. Their defense played pretty solid, and Deshaun Watson's not playing up to what he used to be, like we thought he might. So I think the Titans come out. I guess this could be considered an underdog. It's not my personal underdog of the week, but I think it's going to be considered an underdog for most people. I got the Titans here winning.
Yeah, I got Cleveland winning. You know what? They're in the dog pounds. But you know what? I think, Cleveland, had that big week 1 performance against Cincinnati. We don't really know where Cincinnati is right now, but that's big time. They just, lost a tough one in Pittsburgh, a big division rival.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know where this team's really heading. You know what I mean? You look at week 1, you're like, whoa, they look pretty good. And maybe that was Cincinnati being a little too bad. Look at week 2, I think everyone knows they're the better team than Pittsburgh, but that's not what happened. But I think they bounce back here. I think they're have more of a complete roster over the Tennessee Titans, and I think they get the win.
Yeah, I mean, Cleveland does have a good defense as well, but I think D-Hop might have a little bit of a coming alive game. Hopefully Ryan Tannehill finally does something and makes his pick happen.
Titans stink.
Third game of the week, we got Colts Ravens, and this is an interesting game because Anthony Richardson, I don't think he's going to be able to play. He's on concussion protocol. We'll see if the NFL kind of slides in and lets him play, but without Anthony Richardson, I think this offense is dead. JT is still not in. I think the Ravens easily win this game. Lamar's going to have a good game. They also have the weapons again. They got OBJ, Zay Flowers, they got Rashad Bateman, and Nelson Aguilar also had a touchdown last week. So I think the Ravens come out, beat the Colts pretty handily without Anthony Richardson.
Yep, just like you said, I got the Ravens too. Colts just don't have the firepower. I mean, when you're missing Anthony Richardson, and of course we know JT's out in Baltimore. Baltimore's 2-0, feeling good, playing good football. I got Baltimore.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy pick. I think everyone's going to pick Baltimore this week. And then jumping into a game that I picked the Lions here last week. I picked the Lions at home coming out, blue ski masks. Everyone was hyped for that game. There was a bit of a buzz in Detroit that week, and then they came out, went to overtime, then lost to the Seahawks. So one bird of prey to another. They're playing the Falcons this week, and I think Detroit comes out. I think they bounce back, and I think they beat the Falcons. The Falcons have a tough run game. Hammer witnessed it last week against Bijan, and as a Packers fan, you got to witness it firsthand, so I'll let you say what you think. But I think the Lions come out and bounce back and win this game.
Yeah, I got the Falcons, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a Packer fan, but the Lions this week, I know Amon St. Brown,
He's
Amon-Ra
questionable.
St. Brown, he's questionable. He's day to day. CJ Gardner-Johnson, he's banged up. I think he got put out.
He's out.
He's out. Yep.
Torn pec, yeah.
James Houston too is out. I think Detroit's getting a little banged up. And like you said, I witnessed firsthand the Falcons. I think the Falcons are a good football team. Like, they made some moves this offseason. They got Calais Campbell, Jesse Bates, who had an awesome week 1. AJ Terrell is, one of the best young up and coming corners in the league. Offensively, that offensive line is pretty damn good. They got probably right now maybe the best running back room in the NFL.
It's up there, yeah.
Drake London had a good week against Jair last week. Kyle Pitts, they don't really know how to use him, but he's there. He remains a threat at all times. I like Atlanta. They're healthier. I don't know, they're riding high. I don't think anyone thought Atlanta would be 2-0 right now, but they are.
One player is going to set their team the rest of the season, depending on this player. That's going to depend on how or decide how they do. It's Desmond Ridder.
Yeah.
If Desmond Ridder does well, then they have a shot. But I think Desmond Ridder's going to.
But he played well. He played well last week. He did all right. I mean,
what, one or two rushing touchdowns?
Just one.
Just one.
Maybe not even one. I don't know.
I thought he had one, but
I think he did throw. He threw a pick, and then 2 other balls were dropped by defenders. So but he played good enough, and I think for the Atlanta team, that's what you got to do. I like Arthur Smith as a coach. I thought he had a good game plan going into the week.
Yeah,
I think they're the better team right now because Detroit's banged up, and yeah, I got Atlanta. And this is my underdog pick of the week.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Falcons came back and won a game last week. I think the Falcons take an early lead here against the Lions, and they pull the Falcons. I think they choke the lead away in this game. I think the Lions come back at home, get a lot of momentum, and beat the Falcons here. Then we got the Saints-Packers. I don't think we're going to go into it here. We got a segment coming up after this, but I think we'll both say we're picking our teams. So we'll put our faces there, take care of that. We're both going to pick our teams, but we'll get into the actual segment, breaking it all down after this. So skipping that game, we got the Texans versus the Jaguars, which is another kind of iffy matchup. The Texans are still they're pretty garbage. Like, I think I saw a stat that CJ Stroud, I believe, is the 3rd most pressured quarterback in the league with a 44% pressure rate, which is not good. That's not what you want as a rookie quarterback. A rookie quarterback under pressure is not going to be a good outcome for anyone. It gets to their head. They're rushing the ball. They're rushing their passes, and it's going to end up in a couple picks. So I think Jacksonville is going to win this game pretty easily as long as their offense plays a solid game. And Calvin really had an off week last week, but I think he bounces back. Jacksonville wins this game pretty handily.
Yep, I got the same thing over here. I think Jacksonville wins pretty easy. Better roster, and they're playing good football. And like you said, young QB, a rookie QB under pressure a lot. It's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. So.
Yeah, and next game, this game is another intriguing game for this week. As a Saints fan, I witnessed Sean Payton in the amount of games that we had that had so much false hope raised and then just came crashing down at the end of the game. And that kind of happened to the Broncos last week after a Hail Mary was completed. Then a 2-point conversion, possibly, I think it was to tie the game or take the lead. Tie the game. They threw the pass to Cortland Sutton and should have been called PI. It really should have. But now you got the refs against Sean Payton. Welcome to the Saints life, Saints fans life, Broncos fans. So you're not gonna get calls anymore.
Such a loser statement.
Nope, it's the truth. You're not getting any calls your way as a Sean Payton coach team. So I got the Dolphins here. The Dolphins look real, man. I've never been a Tua praise kind of guy. Like, Hammer witnessed it. Everyone who's listened has witnessed that. but Tua's looking really good. He's looking really good as long as he stays healthy.
Like
Tyreek
I
stays
said,
healthy.
like I said,
Waddle stays healthy. They look solid, and they look like a pretty damn good team.
he's always looked good. He's got
yeah,
too many
but
weapons not
there's
to
a
look
few
good.
games, and I think it was his concussions a little bit towards the end of last season. They were kind of
Yeah.
messing with him, but against the Packers, like against
Yeah, but
you got to
even
win this,
even that game,
terrible, but
he threw picks, but he still put him in a position to win. That was a close game all the way through.
yeah, but like I said, it's like I've never been like the biggest fan of his for whatever reason. I don't know if it's gut feeling or what, but I
I
think
think he got something
Dolphins.
against Hawaii or something like that.
I love Hawaii, man. Been there when I was a little kid. Love that place. It's beautiful. Wish I could go back, but
Mm.
I don't know. The Dolphins easily win this game, I think, which is going to be awful for the Broncos. Everyone is thinking Sean Payton's going to come to town, turn this
Yeah,
team
because he
around.
sucks. He's not a
I
good
even-
coach. He's overrated.
I said it too. I thought he was going to do really well, but Russell Wilson did look good last week at the start of the game. Then kind of had a slump. I think Dolphins win this game.
Yeah, Dolphins win. Broncos suck. On
And-
to the
and
next. And I got Tua and Waddle in my fantasy league, so
Yeah, you should be.
I'm a
I
big,
mean, the only thing I'll
Dolphin-
say is I
Dolphin
think
guy.
Pat Surtain has a little bit of effect on Tyreek. I think
but
Pat
then who's,
Surtain
but
is
then
going
who's
to be
got
pretty well.
Waddle?
Yeah,
Like,
and I
that's
think
the problem with them. Like,
you
who's
pick
got
one
Waddle
or the
then?
other. One of the other is going to have a good fantasy week. So
Too much speed, but everywhere. Running back too. They just have too much speed as a team.
Mostert,
Defense,
Mostert looked
defense
awesome
is
against the
good.
Patriots.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean it's a good game, and then this next game, battle of the 0-2 teams. It's honestly not a great game in my opinion. Like there are two
No.
offenses that can be very very good. Like if their coaching is better and they actually convert plays and they're efficient, they would be better teams. You got the Chargers and the Vikings. You know, I think the Vikings, they still have Justin Jefferson. They got Jordan Addison now, and they just got Cam Akers, and they already have TJ Hawkinson. Like they're a solid team. They should be winning games, but they start off 0-2. Like Hammer guessed it. Hammer said they were going to have a big drop off this year. I didn't really necessarily think they were going to have that huge of a drop off, but they did. And the Chargers, you know, they still have bad coaching over there. And we've been saying it since last year. Their head coach has been fired after they lost with a 21 point lead going into halftime or something like that in the playoffs last year. So a guy like Justin Herbert's getting let down on the Chargers. He really is. He has a great offensive weapons, everything like that. Justin Herbert's balling out every week, and they're being let down by their coaching. So this is a tough game for me, but I think the Chargers here. I like the Chargers. I like Justin Herbert, and I think they overpower the Vikings here. And Justin Jefferson's going to have another good game. He is. He's going to have a good game every week. He's the best receiver in the league. He's impossible to cover. Chargers, I think, eke it out in a shootout here.
Yeah, probably shootout. I think no one's rooting. I mean, no one thinks Minnesota's gonna be good. People that are tuning into this game are the people that have Minnesota Viking players in fantasy because they're going off Kirk Cousins, TJ Hawkinson, you know, JJ. They're like lighting it up because they're always down. You know what I mean? They can't run the football. Minnesota can't run the football. Their defense is a mess. Like you don't like.
They lost to the Bucks.
They're not good.
Yeah.
They're not good. Like straight up, I called it. They lost a lot of pieces. A lot of pieces. They're not good. And the Chargers are a little bit of a mess too right now. But you know what? I think they're the more complete team. I think that's pretty obvious. I don't know if Eckler, you know, comes back this week. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. I don't really think that
I
matters
think
that
he's going
much.
to be out. Yeah.
I don't really think that matters too much
This
because
stuff, Kelly.
with that being said, I still feel like the Chargers are the more complete team. I think the Vikings are a mess. And their defense, they don't have the guys to execute that defense anymore. And then offensively, you know, your defense isn't stopping anyone. You can't run the ball. You can't control the game. You're forced to pass. They do have weapons. Kirk Cousins, like you saw on Thursday night against the Eagles, kind of, you know, he's a good fantasy QB to have, you know what I mean, in your lineup. But that's what the Vikings are at this point. I don't know. Got nothing else to say.
Yeah.
But Chargers win.
And then this next game, before we get into that, I want to kind of say, like, I've seen a few power rankings come out, and they still have this team within the top 10. And I'm looking at it like, yeah, they have a good defense, but the quarterback is absolutely awful. Like, it's atrocious.
Defense is overrated.
Yeah, and you could say that. Like, you could genuinely say they still have, like, it's a good defense, but you can't do anything with Zach Wilson on the side of the ball. This is the Patriots Jets we're talking about here. Jets looked awful against the Cowboys, as everyone thought they would, because now you have Zach Wilson leading your team. They need a new quarterback if they want any shot to make it to the playoffs for Aaron Rodgers to come back.
Cough, cough. Kirk Cousins.
You think Kirk?
That's my prediction. I think Kirk Cousins gets traded to the Jets. He's on a 1-year contract right now. He can win the Jets games. He
Who
gets there.
steps in? Who steps in for the Vikings then? Whoever. Just
The
I think they have
Vikings,
Jaron
they got
Hall.
Hendon Hooker.
No, he's on the Lions.
Oh,
It's
then they have
Jaron
Hall.
Hall. Jaron
Hall.
Hall. Yeah.
Yeah, that got those mixed up. But yeah, he steps in. But forget the Vikings. They're going to be 0-3, right? Like, they're going to be 0-3. Like, they're a mess.
Looking to
They
reset.
got to
Yeah.
go into rebuilding. They don't even have JJ sign up for a contract extension because he doesn't even know if he wants to be there because they're a mess. Like, they're not ready to win. They know that. They've been wanting to get rid of Kirk Cousins for a while. He's only got 1 year left on his contract. Do you really think Minnesota's extending him? No, trade him.
Yeah,
Go get
not
some
again.
picks. He goes to the Jets. He can win the Jets games. Maybe get him to the playoffs or something. And guess what? It's a 1 year contract. So after this year, the Jets are back with Aaron Rodgers. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Makes
I don't
too
know.
much. It makes too much sense for me.
It's not the worst thing I've ever heard. I think they go after like a free agent kind of guy. Maybe they could also.
Yeah, but who's who's a free agent that's that much better than Zach Wilson? No one.
There's not much. I think
they
the
get
guys
Kirk Cousins.
on rosters that they could
Kirk
trade
Cousins.
for would be Jacoby Brissett or like a guy because Jacoby Brissett can win you games with a good defense. Like he's a solid backup, and then you have a guy like Jameis on the Saints they could trade for.
So can Zach Wilson. We saw that week 1.
Know.
He can win you a game. Every QB can win a game if you just, don't mess up. Just
it's very iffy.
Survive.
Very
but I'm
iffy.
saying Kirk Cousins can step in there.
Yeah,
like,
he definitely
win them games.
They'd have to give up what, like a second rounder
for 1 year. I don't know.
because
maybe
they don't have any leverage. They can't.
Why don't
the Vikings have their quarterback. They don't need to. They don't necessarily
the
have to
Vikings,
say we're going to give up.
You ask the Vikings, like, what's your goal? Like, you're already 0-3. Like, you have nothing. Like, and it's like, but like, do you really think the Vikings are extending Kirk Cousins for another 2 years after the season? No,
that's not what I'm saying.
Exactly.
But I don't think I think you have to give up a second or a third at least.
So go trade them. Yeah, go trade them for a 4th round pick.
I don't know about
fourth
I
round
think
pick.
a third at least. Anyways, we're gonna get back into the game pick, but I think I gotta go the Patriots here. That they both games they've played, their defenses looked really good. They played the Dolphins. And they almost came and upset the Dolphins. They had that really controversial call at the end with the lateral play. The guy almost got the ball there, and he didn't after review. I think the Patriots come out, win this game. Mac Jones looks all right as usual. He always kind of looks meh, and I think they win this game over the Jets in a pretty big defensive game.
Yeah, I got the Patriots too. I think the Jets defense is a little overrated, but enough about the Jets. I like the Patriots. I like what they've been doing. They're 0-2, yes, but both games have been really close against competition. Like, against good competition. Like, Philly and the Miami, like the two teams that are way more talented, than the Patriots. And the Patriots hung with them, till the very end. So I think Patriots finally get their first win against the Jets, a team that they've beaten up for so many years now. Better coach. I think Belichick, he's going to put his guys in the best position to make plays to win this game like he always does. Zach Wilson chokes it away. And give me the Patriots.
Getting right into the next game, we got the Bills Commanders. Mom's a Bills fan. She got to watch last week's game. She was ecstatic with the Bills coming out and absolutely obliterating the Raiders. Jimmy G won week 1 for the Raiders, and then he came out and showed that the Raiders are still the Raiders. They're not going to beat high-level teams. They're just not. Like, they got blown out. It looked ugly. And they still had Devontae Adams, who had a solid game last week. I think he got us, 20 points, something like that in our fantasy league. So Devontae had a solid game, but the Bills were just too much. They had, I think, 2 picks, and then they just were scoring left and right. Their offense is too high-powered. When Josh Allen's playing well, he had a bounce-back game. And then you have a team like the Commanders who played the Broncos and the Cardinals too. Like, I don't know. They're very iffy teams, iffy at best. And I think the Commanders, like Sam Howell, has a couple good throws. Yeah, he looks solid in some plays, but I don't think they're high powered enough yet to beat a team like the Bills coming in at full speed. So I think the Bills come in, beat this team pretty handily. I think the Commanders D line does pretty well. Maybe they get a pick off Josh Allen off of pressure or something like that. He makes a dumb play, but I just think the Bills win pretty easily.
Yep, I got the Bills too. You saw, week 1 was a tough loss for them, but you saw them bounce back last week. That's the Bills team that we all know, and I think you're gonna get that this Sunday. So I got Bills.
Yeah, and so that's gonna do it for this round of picks. We got our 1:00 games done. We're gonna get into our prime time and afternoon games right after this. Just as usual, drop your comments down below. Let us know what you think about the picks. All right, starting off the afternoon games with a game that, is not anything special. I don't think any of these afternoon games are that great. They really aren't. You got the Steelers, Seahawks versus Panthers here. And I think Bryce Young showed who he is against the Saints last week. He's a guy that he looks a little bit rattled still under pressure, and he's not completely ready yet. And that's what happens with rookies. They need to settle in. And when you start a rookie right off the bat, the only rookie who's looked all right is Anthony Richardson. And Bryce Young has looked pretty iffy through 2 picks week 1. Then last week, he should have had a pick to Alontae Taylor. It got hit out by Adam Thielen making a defensive play. And Cam Jordan came out on his podcast and said, Bryce Young, his cadence is so quiet that the defensive players can't even hear it. You can't even hear on the other side of the ball. He's like, I don't know how the offensive guys are hearing it. And it was a home game for them. The fans aren't cheering or anything when they're on the field. It was quiet. You still can't hear him because he has no bass in his voice. He's so small. And keep in mind, they have to take out Bryce Young on sneaks. They have to take him out. They have to put in Andy Dalton because they can't do a sneak play because he's too small. So I think the Panthers have to figure it out with Bryce Young. There's still going to be a little bit of there's still a learning curve there for sure. So I think the Seahawks come in at home with the 12th man, and they beat the Panthers pretty easily here. Move to 2-1.
Yep. Seattle is an extremely tough environment to play in. And like you said, if you're not allowed that guy calling that huddle, the cadence, everything, you're going to have some problems. Even the great ones like Aaron Rodgers said, they've had problems playing in that stadium against that team, against that crowd. So Bryce Young, tough place to play, but what else do you expect, right? He's a rookie. He doesn't have a lot of talent around him. Like this is where he is right now, So I get Seattle too.
And then the next game is I'm gonna make it short and sweet. It's Chiefs Bears. Chiefs are winning.
Chiefs.
Bears.
Right,
Bears the worst team in the league. Not even saying anything more about it. Justin Fields looks terrible.
Yep. Next one.
Next game, Cowboys at Cardinals. Same
Cowboys,
thing.
Just like Cowboys.
Cowboys are winning. It's
Cowboys.
A home game for the Cardinals, and they look a little bit scrappy, but they're still tanking for Caleb Williams.
They're terrible.
They're not doing anything.
Yep. Chiefs, Cowboys, easy.
It's pretty easy for the 4 o'clock games.
Terrible
set. Terrible slate. If we're being honest.
I'm not just saying this, but no, I like 1 o'clock games. I can't wait all day for a game that annoys me. But I'm just gonna say this, not just because our teams, honestly, best game this weekend, Saints Packers.
Yeah,
it is. You know what I mean?
I think the game that's coming up in a little bit, but yeah,
Saints are 2-0. Packers, they're playing good football. Jordan Love's playing good. It's good. It's good TV. And another one you could argue though is Falcons Lions. I think that's gonna be a good game too. But I think those are good. Yeah. I think those are the only 2 games this weekend. Honestly, I think a lot of these could be blowouts.
I wish you could flex early games, early in the year, but it wouldn't make any sense. But anyways, get into Sunday Night Football. We got Steelers Raiders, which is a very weird game. Steelers look.
It's not bad.
Steelers are wild right now. And you have no clue what's going to go on the field with the Steelers. You saw the first play of the game, they had a pick 6. Then the rest of the game, Kenny Pickett looked pretty damn awful. Then they had a strike to George Pickens for 70 yards. Steelers are a wild card team every week. You have no clue. TJ Watt, though, is looking like the best player in the league on defense. He's looking amazing. Maybe Micah Parsons as well. But Steelers look great on defense. Their offense needs to catch up, get their legs under them, and they could do pretty well. Then you got a Raiders team who just got blown out by the Bills. So it's an interesting pick, but I'm going to go Steelers here. I think the Steelers win. I think their defense takes control of the game, and they beat Jimmy Garoppolo and the Raiders by a little bit.
Yeah. Like we were just saying, the games this weekend, not too great. Like I said, Packers, Saints, Falcons, Lions. I think the third one I would put is probably this Sunday night game against the Steelers, Raiders. 2 iffy teams, scrappy teams. I don't like Kenny Pickett. I don't see the ceiling. I don't think his ceiling's that high. But I got the Steelers winning because I think they're the scrappier team. They're better coached, and they're the more talented team too. So I got the Steelers winning.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Monday Night Football, we got another doubleheader like we had last week, which I like the format, honestly. I think it's pretty interesting having 2 Monday Night Football games at the same time.
Don't mind
you got the early game. Might be a good game here. Bucks, this is the test. If the Bucks are actually real, Like everyone is claiming they are. I've seen them at number 10 on power ranks. And like, what the hell are you doing here with Baker Mayfield? Everyone's like, oh, it's Baker's back. No, he's not. He's played 2 garbage teams. Eagles come out. They beat the crap out of Baker and the Bucs, and I think they win pretty handily. I don't like the Buccaneers at all. I'm a Baker fan. I'm an OU fan. So I liked Baker coming into the league, but I think Baker's just he's gonna make
just once he put on that Tampa jersey, Grayson's like, nope.
He's gonna make dumb play. No, I said the same thing. He went to the Rams last year, and he was like, he looked all right. He did.
Good.
He
looked good.
He had that one drive. I forgot who they played when they came back. He led the game-winning drive, and he looked good. Baker has the game-winning mentality. Like he has the mentality that a quarterback in the NFL needs to have. He has that. That keeps him in games, and I think it kept him in games against the Vikings. And then who did they play last week? I'm blanking.
The Bears. The Bears suck.
The Bears, yeah, and the Bears are terrible. So people would say like the Bucs are good, but I don't think they are. I think they're frauds still. I think the Eagles win this game pretty easily here.
Yep, I get Philly too. I think this could be a close game until like the third quarter. I could see the third quarter like Philly just wiping them out. I don't know. I think Tampa. I don't know. Monday Night Football. You're 2-0. Like, how did this happen? Hey, we got the defending NFC champs coming into our house Monday night. Feeling pretty good about your season so far. Maybe put up the fight first half, but I think Philly at the end finds their groove. Maybe end of second quarter, 2-minute drive, or maybe third quarter. I think then it starts to get out of hand. So I got Philly.
Yeah, I got DeAndre Swift having another good game as well here, I think. And
yeah, could be tough. Tampa's got a good D line.
Yeah, and then the game of the week for me here is Monday Night Football. I think this last game of the week, I think it's gonna be a great game. The Rams have looked so damn good this year compared to what we thought they were gonna be. I'm gonna be honest; they've looked damn good. You got Kenrick Williams.
They've
looked good. They were in a game with the 49ers for most of the game, and then the 49ers pulled away in the fourth quarter a little bit. But you got Puka Nacua, Kenrick Williams, 2 guys that no one had any clue they were going to do anything. No one had any clue. But then they came out and they've been balling. And Matt Stafford's back. He looks like himself. He's doing well. This is my underdog pick of the week. I got the Rams beating the Bengals here in Cincinnati, forcing the Bengals to 0-3.
0-3. That's crazy.
Which could be a panic mode if that hits. Maybe T. Higgins gets traded. Maybe something happens there.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't know, but I think Rams come in and beat them.
This is your underdog pick of the week.
Underdog pick of the week, right here.
All right, it's not bad. I like it. I think I think you're overhyping the Rams a little bit too much, in my opinion. I like the Rams, what the Rams have done, but like just understand where they are as a team. Like, you know what I mean? Like they trade away a lot of guys. Like they're that group of guys, they're going out there just playing like we got nothing to lose. Like that's how they're playing. You know what I mean? And like that's and that's good, and it is dangerous. But I don't know. Cincinnati Monday night 0-2. Like
it's interesting.
You know how pissed like
Joe Burrow's gonna have to get another haircut after last week.
I don't know. At home night game, I think they come out swinging. I think it's like we're back. See, we're back. So I get Cincinnati.
Yeah, I think it's definitely an interesting game here.
It's a fun pick, though. I like you picking the Rams. I kind of knew you were going to do it,
Here's the thing, though. Like, the Bengals lost to the Browns, and then they lost last week to the Ravens. And the Ravens are, like, a solid team. They are.
Yeah, but those are a little bit, like, two of the better teams, though.
Yeah, but you could argue right now that the Rams are playing at the same quality. If not, they're playing better than the Browns, I think, for sure. Then you come in and they might be playing better than the Ravens with their offense. Like their offense just looks dangerous. Their passing game looks amazing. So I think the Rams make it a good game here, and I think they pull it out. This could be a shootout as well. It could be a shootout if Joe Burrow gets his feet under him and has a good game. And he also had a calf injury in the past week, so we don't know if he's gonna be very mobile in the pocket, anything like that. But I think the Rams come out and win. Hammer, you got the Bengals, so we'll see. Maybe this
close game, like you said.
Yeah, maybe this game ties up our picks. We'll see. We'll see how we do.
Maybe.
All right, guys.
Take it away, James.
Right into the best segment of the day. This is better than all the other picks. This is going to be the greatest segment you're ever going to see of our podcast. We got talking Saints versus Packers week 3. This is the game that I had circled just because I get to talk trash to my buddy Hammer here. We had a similar thing in 2021 in the dorms. We were jaw jacking with Saints Packers.
This was our freshman year.
We've known each other for 3 weeks, 4
Yep,
weeks,
and they're playing each other week 1.
and it
And
and
if you guys, I don't know if you guys remember what happened, but the game ended up being moved to Jacksonville
hell yeah,
because New Orleans had a
home away
breakdown
from
or
home.
whatever. I don't know what happened, but we went to
Hurricane, dude.
Jacksonville, and of course, like we did the past couple of years, except for this week, except for this year. I mean, the Packers got their butts whooped in week
38 to
one,
3. Let's
38 to
go.
3.
Jameis
But then we,
Winston, 5
but then, but
touchdowns.
then we went on to win 13 games, and the Rodgers won MVP, and the Saints didn't make the playoffs. So
But
just
we won when it
it's not
mattered.
about
I
how
got
you
to talk
start. It's
trash.
not about how you start. It's about how you finish.
Nothing will make me happier than thinking about the memory where I got back to the dorm. You pulled up to the dorm as well, and I got to play like I played like a bunch of Saints songs on the Google Home in our dorm,
Yeah, and
just
I probably
blast
like
them. He was
came over and give you like a dead leg. Just
yeah,
punch you in
he
the
would
thigh
abuse me in the
Yeah.
dorm. Anyways, Saints Packers. This is going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a defensive game. Hammer disagrees with me here a little bit, but I think Saints Packers, both offenses. The Saints defense is top 3, if not the best defense in the league so far. They've been balling out. Marshawn Lattimore has been playing like the number 1 corner in the league. He hasn't really faced anyone crazy. He faced D-Hop, but it was Ryan Tannehill. And then you got a guy like Adam Thielen, and then I think it was Adam Thielen, DJ Shark as well. Nothing crazy there with Bryce Young quarterback. Now we got Christian Watson and Jordan Love, who's been playing pretty damn well. I got to give it to you there, Hammer. He's been playing pretty damn well. You like that.
Yes.
But I think the Saints come in, close game. I'm going to pick my team, obviously. Like, we're both going to pick our teams. But I think they come in. I think Taysom has a revenge game. I think also Kendre Miller debut. They have a decent rushing game because the Packers didn't do too well against the Falcons run game last week, but the Falcons have Bijan Robinson. Like, come on, they have one of the best running games in the league, and the Saints are down Alvin Kamara, and Jamal Williams as well. I think the Saints come out, click a little bit better than they have the last couple weeks, start off a little bit quicker. Chris Olave, Michael Thomas, Rashid Shaheed, 3-headed monster. I think they come out and they do pretty well, and I think the Saints win maybe by 3 points. That's my pick. And you know what? I'll give you a score. I'm going to say
Give me one.
we scored 20 last week. We scored 17 the week prior. I'm going to go 23. 23 to
You're
20.
gonna need more than that if you're gonna beat my Packers.
Actually, you know what? I was thinking I had a dream last night. Right when I fell asleep. 25-22. Don't know how the hell that score. It would be a scoregami or something. It have to be. 25-22. 25,
okay?
22. I could have just been thinking about it when I was going to sleep. Like, yeah, the Saints are going to beat the Packers. Maybe just because I'm too excited about it. But 25-22. Hammer, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. I got the Packers for a lot of reasons. All right. I think right now, well, first off, no. I think right now, I think the Packers are the better football team right now through 2 weeks. And I say that because
Better record.
I say that because I say that because yes, we did play the Bears week 1. They stink. But guess what?
Mm-hmm.
We did our job. We blew them out.
Lost the
right?
Falcons, man. You choked against the chokers.
It wasn't a game. Can you let me talk? We went into Atlanta missing our number 1 wide receiver, our best playmaker in Aaron Jones, without our all-pro left tackle, David Bakhtiari. Halfway through the first quarter, our Pro Bowl left guard, Elton Jenkins, gets injured after the game. So we're down.
Is he coming back this week?
Elton Jenkins will not be back. He'll be out a month. What'd he do? He sprained his MCL, I believe. But I think Bakhtiari will be back. But listen, we're down to our four best offensive players, and Jordan Love was able to go put 24 points on the board, which to me, I think that you're asking your first year QB. I think that's pretty good if you could put 24 points on the board without those guys. You know what I mean? And going back to the Atlanta game, I think Atlanta's good, but the Packers defense kind of like played. They played pretty damn well in the first half. Like the ground game wasn't really going or anything. They got a good goal line stand, this and that.
Yeah, questionable calls on that, but
yeah,
play calls.
We got the stop, right? Then the second half happened. And this is when Atlanta really took control of the game because the running game. You know what I mean? Atlanta ran 70-something plays on offense in the game, and Green Bay only ran 48. 48. And 48 plays, we scored 24 points.
It's a
I think
Falcons
that
fan.
speaks a lot. That speaks a lot. That's pretty damn efficient. If you know what I mean. It's pretty.
I can't say anything about positive
So
about the Falcons, man. I think they're
so
terrible.
yeah, no,
Mm.
but I'm just saying, like Atlanta just controlled the game. You know what I mean? I don't like.
What happened in the fourth quarter, Hammer?
Yeah, we choked. Offense was going 3-and-out. And, we on offense we couldn't do anything but pass the ball. We had no running game with AJ
Yeah.
Dillon. We were going 3-and-outs, up by 12, but 3-and-out, and then Atlanta would get the ball and they would have a 6-minute, 7-minute drive. You know what I mean? We get the ball, 3-and-out. You know what I mean? And like we're the youngest team in the NFL. And like these games are going to be expected. Like you're going to have games like this when you're the youngest team in the NFL, especially when your leaders on the team, everyone's out.
Are young.
Bakhtiari's out.
And
Aaron
your
Jones is
quarterback's
out.
young as
Everyone's
well.
out. You know what I mean? So it's tough. You know what I mean? So, I mean, the Atlanta loss was ugly. It sucks. But like on top of that, I think I think they learned a lot. And like I'm excited. I think this is a big week to see just how this young group of players respond. And then on top of that, like, you've been in the locker room, like after you have a loss like this, like you just
get fired up.
You're fired up
Fired
for
up
the
a little
next
bit.
week to set the tone, like to show everyone like this is us. Like this is the real Green Bay Packers. You know what I mean? It wasn't last week. On top of that, it's the home opener. This is our first home game. Green Bay is electric place to play at. Like, you know what I mean? It's one of the best venues in the NFL. We're gonna be healthier. Watson's gonna be back. I think Bakhtiari will be back. Aaron Jones, though, is going to be questionable. I think that has a lot to do with the outcome of this game. I think if Aaron Jones plays, I see Green Bay winning by 10 points. If he doesn't play, I think it's a very close game. I think it could probably go the Saints' way, sadly. That's how big of a factor Aaron Jones is. And I just want to say, like, on top of that, like I said, like I think Green Bay's been playing better football than the Saints. Like, truly, you know what I mean? I say that because I think we both played 8 quarters. I think Green Bay has looked really good in 7 quarters. But then you look at the Saints. The Saints went against.
You're talking offensive side, because on defensive side, Saints only allowed 1 touchdown the whole year, and that's through 8 quarters.
But look at who you played.
Yeah, we played the Titans. Just beat the Chargers.
You played the Titans and ran a Tannehill at home, like home opener, week 1, and you won by 1 point. And then you went and you played Carolina, and you won by what, 3-4 points? They're not.
Yeah, it was 3 points, but it could have been 10. It could have been something like 10 because we let them score way late in the game after prevent defense.
The Saints are going to be a good team this year. They're going to be a good team. The schedule's lined up that way, but like
it's going to be tough without Kamara.
The wins are not pretty, and like I've watched both of the games just because the schedule is set up because the Packers weren't playing, and like I watched them. I wasn't impressed. Like they're a good team. They got to find the rhythm. I don't think they're in the rhythm right now in the groove. When I look at Green Bay and they're in the groove offensively. They have the second most points scored in the league behind Dallas. It's Green Bay. They're the number 1 team in the red zone, Green Bay. Defensively, I did my research. Defensively, number 1 team in pressures.
Yeah, but now you got to face in the defensive line of the Saints with Brian Bresee. No left guard. Left guard down, Brian Bresee's eating you for lunch.
I don't know.
Jordan Love, under. Yes, you do. Yes, that's just a cat. Straight up lie.
What was I gonna say?
You rattled.
But then, like I said, like Green Bay, like they struggle against the run, and Saints are not gonna have Alvin Kamara. They're not gonna have Jamal Williams, but they're not gonna have the top 2 backs, and that kind of makes them a little bit more one-dimensional.
I agree. It's gonna be tough.
And you know what I mean? And Green Bay has a good pass defense. Like I said, they're number 1 in the league in pressures right now. They have a good secondary. Like, you know what I mean? They got good pass rushers. They're going to get after you.
I will say Saints have a fairly rough O-line and pass game. Good O-line for run game right now, but the pass game isn't strong. But I don't think you guys have number 1, maybe in pressures, but overall, I thought it was like number 11 in pass defense, something like that.
Yeah, but in pressures, we're number 1. And with that being said, like you got a guy like Rashawn Gary, you got Kenny Clark, Devontae Wyatt, you got Preston Smith. Like they're gonna get after you. They're gonna get pressure. Our secondary's got a pretty good secondary. Safeties can be a little iffy, but we got pretty damn good corners. And then offensively, like I think we're in a groove right now offensively already, and we're gonna add Watson and hopefully add Jones back. And yeah, I think Green Bay's playing a little bit more better football right now, and Jordan Love's taking care of the ball. I think,
I
and
think he throws his first pick this
and
week.
just with it, and just maybe he does, but he's taking care of the ball. He's playing really good. Like just going through his reads, doing all the little things. Like
It's gonna be a close game. That's
and just coming up coming from after a loss like that, like home opener. I'm just like, give me the Packers.
And one thing I'll say, closing statement. One thing I'll say is I'm happy as hell. It's in September. If we had to come into Lambeau, let's say December, something like that, then I'd be a lot more scared than I am. Like it's gonna be a warm, not crazy hot day, but it's gonna be like a warm day. It's gonna be nice weather. I think. I don't think it's supposed to be rainy or anything like that. I haven't really checked the radar, but I think it's gonna be a good game, close game, good defense, both sides, and I'm excited for it. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, my last thing is I just gotta say, I think Green Bay's defense improves a little bit, a lot with that just being due. I don't think the Saints will have a big running game with their two guys out. You know what I mean? So I think that's gonna help the defense and make them look a little better. I think offensively, I think we're in a groove right now. Like Jordan Love, 2 weeks, 6 touchdown passes. I think we're in a groove, scoring a lot. I kind of see that continuing at home. If Aaron Jones plays, I got 27-17 Packers. If he doesn't play, I'm thinking 26-24 Packers.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be close because Aaron Jones might not play. One thing I'll say, last thing I say, if Taysom Hill doesn't carry the ball more than 5-6 times, I think Saints lose. Saints need to include Taysom Hill in this game, especially with down a couple of running backs. They need to include Taysom Hill. If they don't do that, I think Packers will be able to win pretty easily. So we'll see. We'll see how Pete Carmichael calls the game. All right, guys, finishing it off with one of my favorite segments every week. We have a league with you guys that we made. We weren't sure if we were going to be able to get it done. Like we weren't sure if we were going to be able to get it finished or filled, but we got it filled. We got it filled with 11 or 10 other great subscribers, great fans. We love you guys. So this is a league where we want to interact with our subscribers, everything like that. So we want to shout out the winners every week. First off, quick recap. Hammer and I both 1-1. There are 2-0 teams. Neither of those are us. At 2-0, we got Gloves Didn't Fit with Thomas Brown on a 2-game win streak. Rainbow Herbert with Nicholas Lewis, a 2-game win streak as well. Then the Kirkraid Cardinals. That's Paul. He's from the Netherlands. He's a Dutchie. Then I won this week. Hammer lost, unfortunately. So
I had too many injuries, guys. Too many injuries.
Too many injuries for Hammer.
Backed up on me in week 2.
My team looks solid, but it lost week 1. So week 2, we won, pulled out a win. I'm happy with that. And then another winner, Steelers jersey with Wilson. And then
that's what I'm playing this week. Big matchup.
Yeah, good matchup. Yeah. And then final winner of the week was the Washington Red Wolves from Miranda Culver. So congrats to all the winners, and then all the losers. We got poor guys down here on the bottom. We got 0-2 teams. Christian Diaz and Aiden Davis. Hopefully you guys can turn it around. Hopefully it is one whole division. So you just have to be top 4 teams. So we'll turn it around, see what happens. I think it's actually top 6 teams because we wanted to give everyone a chance. So everyone has shots early in the league. I'm happy to do that. Hammer, take us out.
I think, well, by the way, I think Team Hammer is going to turn the ship around too, because I just picked up Kareem Hunt. If you guys aren't aware, Nick Chubb went down, brutal, disgusting, bad injury, Monday night, stinks, terrible. But Browns signed Kareem Hunt, expecting him to have a big role. I picked him up, so I'm on the rise. But with that being said, we hope you guys are just enjoying football. You know what I mean? We love it. We love this time of year. It makes everything a little easier. You know what I mean? I know a lot of us maybe going to school, back to school, but you know what I mean? When you're looking forward to Sunday, when you got games on your team playing every Sunday, that's what you're looking forward to. That's what gets you through the week. That's what gets us through the week, honestly. I don't know how else we do it. So we just hope you guys are enjoying it, because it goes by quick. It's already week 3 before you know it, week 15. I don't know. But just enjoy it. Hopefully your teams get the win this weekend. Me and Jenks are going to be in a battle this weekend. Maybe we do a little on our Twitter. We'll tweet, both tweet how our teams are doing, thoughts on the game and everything.
Yeah, if I go to text Hammer after a big play, he's going to get pissed.
Jenks tried to text me this past weekend about fantasy during the Packers-Falcons game, and I ripped them.
Yeah,
I
he'll
don't want to
lose
hear
it.
about fantasy during my game.
Little bit of an anger issue problem, but just
A
during
little bit,
Packers
a little
game.
bit. Yeah, a little bit. That's what it is. Weakness. But yeah, but with that being said, we hope you guys have a awesome end of the week and enjoy the game tonight, even though it's probably going to be a blowout, but enjoy it. Enjoy the weekends and make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Jenks Hammer Pod. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube at Jenks and Hammer Podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Trying to get a bunch of subscribers during this football season, and we would really appreciate it. So, Jenks, anything else?
All I gotta say is who dat Packers are going down.
I don't know about that. Go Pack, go.
Thank you for tuning in to the Jenks and the Hammer podcast. Remember to leave a review and follow all of our social media pages at Jenks Hammer Pod for more content. Until next time, who dat and go Pack go.